Welcome to Wisdom for the Day, the podcast where we unpack the timeless wisdom of the Book of Proverbs, one bite-sized nugget at a time. Join us daily as we journey through this ancient treasure trove of insight, offering practical wisdom for modern living. Get ready to start your day with clarity, purpose, and a deeper understanding of life's greatest lessons. This is Wisdom for the Day, your daily dose of Proverbs wisdom. So today, I want to talk to you a little bit about Proverbs. In case you haven't figured it out, I love Proverbs. But Proverbs hides a sad story. Solomon was a wise king for most of his life. When he became old, Solomon forgot his wisdom. He had many wives, and his wives tempted him to serve false gods. He did not remember God, who gave wisdom to him. He served false gods. The real God was angry. The real God was angry with Solomon. 1 Kings 11, 1-10. Solomon wrote Proverbs 1:1 to Proverbs 9:18 for his son. He wanted his son to learn wisdom. Solomon tried to teach his son. Solomon's son was called Rehoboam. Rehoboam became the king when Solomon died. Rehoboam never followed wisdom. When he became king, his first decision was to refuse wisdom. He refused to obey the advice of Solomon's wise advisors. Instead, he chose advisors who knew nothing. 1 Kings 12, 1-19. Rehoboam's first decision was a terrible decision, and most of the people refused to serve Rehoboam. There was a revolution and a war, and the nation split in two. Solomon led a great nation. His nation was always at peace. His son Rehoboam led a small nation. Rehoboam was always at war. 1 Kings 14:30. So Proverbs chapter 1 through chapter 9 is what they call the first major section in the book of Proverbs. The second major section is where we're going to start, at Proverbs 10:1 to Proverbs 22:16. Now, this section contains 375 short poems. Most poems have 2 lines, and each poem is 1 verse long. Each poem is called a proverb. The structure of this section is unusual. Solomon didn't separate the proverbs into groups. The proverbs change from one subject to another, but their order does matter, because Solomon uses an organic or natural order. And this order is similar to a conversation. Like, for example, one proverb might explain the previous one, or another proverb might contrast with the previous one. But together, these proverbs are like a conversation. If you would, imagine that a group of wise people are talking about wisdom, and each person in the group speaks briefly. Now, they all listen to each other, and then each person tells his thoughts or ideas to the other people. That conversation would be similar to this section of the book of Proverbs, section 2. And because of this structure, you can't split these proverbs into smaller sections. Proverbs 10:1 to Proverbs 22:16 belong together. To help us understand their meaning, I've separated the Proverbs into smaller groups. The chapter numbers are not part of the original book. Sometimes they are the wrong positions. Proverbs 22:17 should really start a new chapter. Now, the Proverbs describe our lives. A lot of times they describe good things in our lives, like wisdom, and sometimes they describe bad things, and they don't always explain whether something is good or bad. You need to use your own wisdom to decide. Now, another example of that is Proverbs 10:15. It says, "Great wealth protects a rich man. Lack of wealth ruins a poor man." Now, this doesn't mean that we should all try to get great wealth, because Proverbs 8:10 told us that wisdom was better than wealth. But Proverbs 10:15 describes our lives. We should want wisdom more than we want wealth. These proverbs discuss many different subjects, but all of these subjects start with the first proverb. This proverb is about the difference between a wise son and a foolish son. The difference, of course, is wisdom. So yesterday I asked you if you get any value from listening to this podcast. Now, tomorrow morning, we'll start the second major section in Proverbs, just like we talked about, starting with Proverbs chapter 10, verses 1 through 2. But tonight, when you go home, get your Bible out and read through those chapters. You can do it if you want. You can skim through them. Look back at what we've talked about and meditate on it and pray about it. See what you've learned. See what you've picked up. See if you have wisdom. I'm enjoying this journey with you. I hope you're enjoying it. I'll talk to you tomorrow. Well, that's all for today, but I'll be back tomorrow with more of Solomon's wise teachings. For free Wisdom of the Day merch, head to buymeacoffee.com/renewedmindsets and consider becoming a community member. If you like this show, please tell someone about it and share it with them. The executive producer of Wisdom for the Day is Yelena McClellan. Intro music by Weston McCurry. Until tomorrow, I'm Rick. I love you. See ya.